Okay.
It's like, alright, we can either take this right here and we're going to wind up in another room, or go to what looks like a stairwell later on.
Rothwell says, I think it's best to map out one layer at a time.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. So let's take this first route.
Make your way around the corridor until you're met with another archway. It appears to open up into another room.
Alright. I checked the archway for traps again.
Roll it.
13.
No traps. Regular archway.
Move on in.
You're met with a kind of an elongated room. Let's see here. Flump. Alright. In this room, you do see, kind of towards the northwards end, is a wooden portcullis that is blocking what you presume to be a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And to the south end, down... Come on. I got a point. Select. Down here is a large pile of skulls that are meticulously stacked up on the wall in a door-like fashion. And in the northeast, kind of behind you, as everyone kind of enters in the room now, over here is a large fountain that seems to be decorated with tormented faces. The fountain does have water and seems to be very slowly trickling, but does seem to be active. And also, on the west wall, right about here, not centered, but among the random glyphs as the rest of the hallway, is a large X that has been scrawled on the wall. But more importantly, you also notice this little guy here. Everyone roll initiative. As everyone now notices, this is in fact a shrieker, a large fungus mushroom enemy.
I have a 12.
Alright. She goes. Alright. Initiative is Rothwell, Florentine, Skaith, and Saber.
Where's the fungus go?
Fungus will go first. This large golden mushroom thing immediately comes to life as you guys walk into the room and kind of whirls around. There's no visible eyes or anything on this creature, but you believe it's seen you as small little tendrils kind of come around the bottom of it like tendril-like feet. As this thing ever so weirdly kind of warbles over in your direction, it immediately kind of starts emitting this high-pitched, god-awful noise, which is probably how it got its name. And will immediately just practically try its best to rush the orc. Alright. Bad guy first. And bad guy got 13, which is not enough. And the orc kind of just deflects this thing as it just bounces off the mirror.
Oh,
Right.
so the enemy didn't go into the mirror, or it just kind of bounced off the mirror.
It bounces off the mirror.
So we
Ro
cannot use it as a weapon. Damn.
Rothwell will pull her rifle off her back, actually use it like a baseball bat first. It rolls a crit 1, and practically tries to pull the strap off her shoulder and practically snaps this strap in half as her weapon just kind of falls on the floor. Bullets fall out of the gun. The gun practically almost dismantled itself.
Oh dear.
as she quickly scrounges to try and pull it together. Florentine will ready her trademark blue fire that you've seen before, with a lousy 2, is still trying to get over this horrifying noise and cannot concentrate. Skaith, save this party from these terrible rolls.
Alright, before I move, I want to pull out my sword and think of the obsidian lane ribbon. I want my sword to become obsidian.
Okay.
I move.
Hang on, roll to do
Okay.
that.
As it's a little bit of obsidian, I need to make sure it works. For 20.
Alright.
Jesus Christ.
Good news is, you were not sure if that would trigger the teleportation of earlier. Fortunately, it did not seem to do so, and your entire sword is made out of obsidian, practically, unfortunately, not as you expected, but fortunately, twice as thick. Your sword actually seems larger, but somehow lighter, easier to wield.
Excellent.
Now roll to do whatever.
I want to step forward so I can have a better shot at this.
Okay?
And I
Usually
want
do
to cleave this creature in twain.
vertically, horizontally, or otherwise.
Vertically.
Alright, you will have to slice through its little mushroom cap and body. Roll to strike. This thing is only a 10.
Yeah, 6.
Alright, this sword is too great for you. And you miscalculate its weight and kind of fumble with it as you kind of just bounce off of its little membrane of a head.
It's too light. I need to put more force behind it.
At this point, Saber will actually pull out a pickaxe she's kind of got holding by her little tool belt she's got. Set the mirror kind of to the side. Not exactly drop it, but kind of just... well, I shouldn't say toss it, but doesn't exactly set it down carefully. It kind of clatters to the ground. Saber will do her best just to run up and strike this thing. With a 13 and strikes this thing for a good 30. This thing does not look like it's very strong. As this thing is now begins to start spewing a little bit of dust of some kind, spores maybe even, as everyone's lore goes, as this thing kind of steps back, or waddles back as it were. Now, as it does so, its tendrils will actually try and grab Skaith, since you were actually closest.
Alright.
And it rolls a 10 and does not manage to do so.
I wind up stepping on its tendrils and it backs away.
You do. Alright, Rothwell has managed to put her gun back together.
Yay!
And rolls a 13 and manages to fire off a crack shot. This thing is down to 20 as this thing's head is practically blown off.
It's gone from a legume to Swiss cheese.
Yes. Florentine will gain herself back to normal and do her fire magic and roll a 19 and blast this thing into little mushy bits. Fungus viscera goes everywhere. It's splattered all in this general direction.
How come the fire... not that I'm complaining, but how come the fire worked? Yeah, that's magic.
At this point, everyone kind of looks over and notices, as Florentine kind of just looks at her hands like she's, like, murdered somebody, as everyone's just, like, really pondering that right now. Like, yeah, how come? Florentine seems generally perplexed as well. She says, maybe it's certain kinds of magic?
Passive magic instead of elemental, maybe?
At this point, everyone also notices, well, I should say the three of you, except for Florentine, because her back is turned, this well behind her is glowing. With the same blue ore that her magic is. Rothwell says, maybe it's got to do with the well.
Well, I suppose now that we've got nothing left to do, we should investigate that.
She runs over and notices it's glowing the same color as Florentine's magic. Florentine will, in fact, confirm, yeah, that's... Is it copying me? Rothwell says, maybe it's protecting us from the teleport, what's it? And maybe that's why the fungus guy couldn't use the mirror.
Oh yeah, it might be stabilizing magics.
Florentine will actually do her best to roll an insight here and an arcana check. With the 10, just barely clears it and does in fact confirm that this is just water.
Hmm.
She says this place is so full of magic, who knows how things work.
Well, just because I can, I want to use the ivory drinking horn that I picked up and scoop up some water.
Alright, you easily do so without any issues.
And just, I didn't actually think that one through.
Rothwell will, at this point, kind of overlook this wooden portcullis and say, well, we still gotta keep moving, I guess. Florentine says,
Yeah?
I suppose the more we investigate, the more we'll find out.
Agreed.
She now notices Saber's kind of wandered over to this corner here. Kind of walk over as if to investigate what she's doing. Saber seems lost as she kind of drags a hand over these skulls. Florentine kind of stops short.
What's up, Saber? Or what do you think?
She seems quiet. Florentine says, maybe it's, something personal? She says, kind of hinting at the skulls.
I want to insight and see if I know what skulls they are.
Roll it.
12.
They appear to be human skulls. All of them. Aged well with the rest of this dungeon.
Well, unless she was alive around the time this dungeon was built, I'm not quite certain it may be personal, but there might be she might remember something past here.
And with a 19, she quickly wields her pickaxe and completely shatters through all of these skulls, easily revealing a hidden door.
Yay!
She looks back and gives a big, dumb, goofy guy smile and just points.
Well, that'll work.
Rothwell says, okay, so looks like she's still somewhere, I suppose.
Well, somewhere is better than lost to us.
At which point
Especially
Saber,
if she can help get us through this dungeon.
at which point Saber will actually be the first one to go right through the door. I'm dragging you with her, unfortunately.
Ah!
As everyone goes into the next room. There's another large room. Immediately met with two more door options on either side. And Florentine, you are in the way. It is room 16. Alright. There appear to be two wooden doors. And what looks like the regular glyphs of the rest of the hallway. This room seems to be a little bit dimmer than the rest of them, not as brightly lit. But more importantly, there are large, just rotted pieces of wood and pylon just scattered about, and another pool of water kind of off to the north end. Everyone takes a quick gander about.
I want to investigate the puddle.
Okay. Rothwell kind of saddles up and pulls out the satchel of blueberries and kind of hands it over as if offering blueberries to you.
I just drop a small handful in the puddle.
Alright, they clatter, at which the water begins to kind of move a little bit and kind of form this small little tower carrying these blueberries on top of it. Kind of in your direction as if slowly giving these blueberries back.
I hold my hand out so I can just hopefully drop the blueberries back in it.
Alright, this little snake of water kind of eagerly drops the blueberries in your hand and kind of just continues upwards towards the ceiling. Florentine says, maybe this water's the same kind of water in the well? Something with sentient water?
Probably. I still have the water in the well. I pull out the. Well, I still have it in my hand, so I pour a little bit into the puddle. See what it does.
As soon as the water touches the puddle itself seems to move its entirety just absolutely away, leaving the initial drops of water where they lay. Florentine will now take a step back as this entire puddle is just shifted over. This thing will actually kind of scurry away like it's afraid.
Okay.
Rothwell
What if this
says,
isn't actually water?
Florentine looks at you as if guessing for an answer. What? What are you proposing?
What if this is liquid soul or liquid magic? And whatever that fountain is is like a collection of liquid soul and magic. Like think of that creature Legion.
Right, she says, not sure about all of this. Rothwell will kind of run up to it as if, well, actually kind of get down on her knees and kind of act like she's gonna comfort it. Kind of coaxing it, it's okay, little guy. And kind of pull out another little blueberry and kind of flick it over towards it. This thing will engulf the blueberry like an amoeba. And spit the blueberry back out, and it kind of rolls across the floor a little bit towards Rothwell. She flicks it back. She's like, look, it's friendly. You just scared it.
Alright, well, off into this corner I want to pour out the water. Because obviously this is not good.
Right,
So just pour out the water here.
You pour out the rest of the water.
And draw out the horn.
As soon as the water hits the ground, you hear Rothwell kind of shriek as you look back, and this water has now latched itself onto her, like engulfing her hand.
Oh, no good.
She starts wigging out and starts shaking this thing violently around, trying to get it off her hand. Alright, this thing rolls a 17 against Rothwell's meager 13. As you see this thing start to steam, as Rothwell just kind of screams as this thing looks like it's boiling at this point.
I want to pull out my ball of moss.
Okay?
And try and have the moss absorb it. Turn the moss into a sponge.
Alright, like with your plant magic? Or, I mean...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've got an 11.
Alright. One other large blinding white light later,
Oh dear.
everyone's assumption about that well, or that fountain might have been true, but maybe not about this room, as everyone is flashbanged again. And is elsewhere.
Hopefully away from the water.
Rothwell says that this... Well, sorry, Florentine will now shout again at this point. Okay, don't trust any magic!
Trust no magic, got it!
At this point she will say, who cares what room?
I start rubbing my eyes.
Let's see here, where to put you?
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me as soon as you
Yes,
decide so I can
no,
pan in that direction.
no worries. Alright. Actually, downward below, everyone opens their eyes to another glorious treasure room. The water creature is gone.
Yay!
Rothwell is doing her best to shake out her arm, which looks like has been boiled for a few seconds. And has in fact taken a little bit of damage from that. At which point, the entire elongated chamber has one visible exit, and is stocked full of treasure as the room prior. But along
Okay,
the far end, there is another large wall of hieroglyphics.
before I investigate the treasure, I would like to investigate the hieroglyphics.
Okay. Would you like to inform you the rest of the room if there's anything else first? Or are you
Please.
straight up looking for the hieroglyphics?
I want to investigate the rest of the room first to make sure like we don't have that sentient evil, well, passively evil water.
Alright, you look around the room, everyone does a quick scan. The room is empty other than that. Just completely full of even more treasure.
Okay.
The hieroglyphics on this wall is another mural of another one of those hooded figures. This is the bronze figure. All around are the more just detailed etchings and possibly decipherable hieroglyphics, or at least what look like words than just symbols. And a very jagged and square and rough decor, not smooth like the opposing one.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Rothwell will do her best to shake it off. Florentine will now say, I think this might be this one's room? If it were to have a room? This is just making a guess.
Well, that seems
Saber
accurate.
will actually give an audible grunt as if in agreement.
I think that would be a safe assumption. This is probably this individual's treasure room. I suppose we could say siblings' treasure room.
At this point, Rothwell's still trying to get over. Man, that thing was hot!
Are you alright, Lottie?
She says, I'm good, but it burns! Just jumping up and down like she stubbed her toe, like anyone would react.
Alright, since magic is useless, I want to pull out a magic potion since it's probably cool and just kind of hold the glass bottle against her arm. Cool off the burn.
I like an ice pack, no problem.
Yeah.
Rothwell will quickly take out a bandage and just strap that on there and just say, okay, just forget about me, we got treasure! They just instantly start diving hands first into treasure.
Ah, boy.
Florentine says, well, we at least know where it is on the map, but I suppose taking a thing or two wouldn't be too bad.
Let's at least look around first. And only pick up something that truly piques our interests. We're already kind of loaded down to begin with.
Everyone kind of nods. Are we ready?
Begin at will.
Alright. Another bolt of gold cloth.
This one's gold, I'll grab that one.
A secondary bolt of gold cloth that's set with black pearls.
I'll pass on that one.
A bottle of unlabeled exotic wine.
Yes.
A carved wooden staff that's studded with platinum. Florentine will grab this one. Says maybe better to have a melee weapon.
Good idea.
A crystal amphora that's inlaid with ruby.
Ooh. Yes.
You are familiar with an amphora?
I am familiar with an amphora.
Right. An ermine ribbon inlaid with brass.
I'll pass on the ribbon.
Alright, a feathered pouch.
Yes.
Alright, a fine leather vest that's set with silver pearl.
Pass.
A fox fur ribbon that's set with banded brass.
I'll grab that one.
A gilden wooden coffer inlaid with brass.
Pass.
A bronze ring. Simple.
Yes.
An ivory miniature of a tree that also is set with an unknown but seemingly precious gemstone.
I want that one.
Leather boots with copper buckles.
Sure.
A marble necklace.
Pass.
Rothwell will take that. An ornate silver hand mirror set with emerald.
I motioned to Florentine. Do you want this one too?
She shakes her head, digging through her pile of gold. Pile of treasure, I say.
Shakes her head yes or no.
No.
I'll pocket that one.
A platinum flask.
Yes. Flask, that means it's got a cap on it. That might be useful.
A porcelain rod, what looks like a curtain rod.
That might not make it out of the dungeon in one piece as it's porcelain. I'll pass on that one.
A sable longsword scabbard that is wreathed in silver continuous flame.
Yes.
Alright. A silver staff that is inlaid with adamantine.
Yes.
A small bag of exotic spices.
Yes.
Rothwell will ask for that one.
Okay, I'll give it to her.
You see, Saber's not really inclined to take anything, but everyone kind of motions like you can, don't be shy. But she doesn't seem inclined to really take anything.
Okay.
At which point, once again, there is a single wooden door that is locked, in fact.
I want to try my hand at it.
Go for it.
11.
Good enough. The wooden door breaks easily off its hinges.
So while I was leaning up against it to try and kind of pick the lock, it just kind of cracked.
It does.
It's like,
The
that just worked.
hallway
That works.
branches down, and you are left with two options of an immediate left or continue onward down the way.
Let's continue on down the way.
Rothwell reminds you to check the map.
I did. It leads to a double room. Kind of a dead end, but we might get some more information about this place if we go there.
Alright. More just odd glyphs in those crystals illuminate your way down to the rest of the pathway, and you are met with 10. You are met with an iron door, similar to before.
Lock or no?
There does not appear to be a lock on it, but it does appear to be stuck in place like the one previously.
Alright.
Florentine will usher up beside you as if waiting to see if you need help.
I want to try and ram it with a
Okay.
meager 8.
A meager 8. Nothing on your strength? Nothing else? Just an 8?
Nope, my strength is neutral.
Alright, then Florentine will help. You can keep that or you can roll again.
Let's roll again. I can't see it. My picture's in the way.
A 4. Unless
Eh.
plus or minus with strength. 14 rolls an 11. You manage to get this door open just barely. With both of you can open this door.
All
Unstuck
right.
it. You're met with a semi-small room. Immediately, everyone takes notice as a canal of blood follows the floor from one wall to the other, seemingly disappearing underneath. It's like a small mouse hole. In the southeast corner, there's a large pile of rotten rope and a small door leading off to the west.
Rotten rope, channel of blood. I'm not quite certain we should continue into this room. How fresh is the blood? Is it fresh blood or is it kind of coagulated already?
It appears to be flowing.
It is. Nope. 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 All of my nope.
Rothwell does not seem to be needing a second answer and kind of just files out back with pushing the